Welcome to Beacon High School online video. Today we are going to learn about the habitat of the living. Habitat. Habitat is the places of organisms which provide them with suitable conditions to live, to breed and to flourish. It is the place which provide food, water and shelter to the animals that is needed for their survival, for their growth and for their development. As different kinds of living beings are found to live in different places naturally. For example, in desert area, camels and cactus are found. In hilly region, we have plenty of oaks, pines, deodars and yaks. And in river and pond, we can see various types of fishes and planktons. So living beings live in various habitats. They adapt themselves to the environment in which they live. Biosphere. Various places on the earth where plants and animals are found in relation with their physical environment like air, land and water constitute the biosphere. The lower part of the atmosphere, that is the air, the upper part of the lithosphere, that is the land, a part of hydrosphere, that is the water, and plants and animals all together form the biosphere. There are various types of habitats. The habitats on land are called terrestrial. The habitats on water are called aquatic habitats. Terrestrial habitat include desert, mountains and grasslands and forests. Aquatic habitats include oceans and ponds. The habitat on tree is known as arboreal habitat. Many animals such as koala bears, squirrel, birds, lizard, they spend most of the time on the tree. So they are known as arboreal animals. The habitat in air is known as aerial habitat. Many animals like birds, bat and some insects, they perform activities in the air and they spend most of the time in the air and they are known as aerial animals. Let us study about animals and plants found in the desert area and their adaptation. We know that deserts are sandy land and they receive less rainfall. Plants and animals living here, they do not get a good supply of water. So let's see what kind of adaptation is found in plants and animals found in desert. Camel is commonly found in the desert. It is called the ship of the desert. It has hump to store fat and it can drink a lot of water at one time, almost a bucketful. It gives out very dry dung so that water can be conserved and it also excretes very little urine. It has long eyelashes which protect its eyes from sand during sandstorm. The hooves of camel enable them to walk on the sand smoothly. Cactus. Cactus have green and fleshy stem that store water and food. The leaves are modified to spines that allow less water loss due to transpiration. Photosynthesis is mostly performed by the fleshy green stem and plants growing in the desert area are called xerophytes. There are some other animals in the desert like snakes and rats which live in deep burrows to keep away from the heat. They come up on the surface at night when it is cool. Grassland and forest have tall grasses and trees which allow various animals to hide behind them. Some animals have almost the same color as the dry grass or green grass and remain hidden from their predators. For example, chameleon. They change the color according to their surrounding and save themselves from the predators. Let us know about the prey and predator relationship. Animals which are hunted for food are called prey and those that feed on the prey are called predators. An example of predator-prey relation is the lion and the deer. The powerful hind legs of a lion help it to run fast and catch its prey. The lion has a long and sharp claws in the front legs. It uses its claws and teeth to rip and tear the flesh of the prey. The good eyesight of the lion helps it in hunting at night. Deer have sharp ears and a great sense of smell, which help them in identifying the predator. A deer is a quick runner as well. Let us know the adaptation of the plants and animals found in mountainous regions. Mountainous regions are cold and windy throughout the year, and plants like pine trees are found growing on the slopes of the mountains. These trees have cone-shaped tops with the sloping branches. They also have pointed needle-like leaves. These adaptations do not allow the snow to settle on them. Animals like yak, polar bear living here have thick hair on their body to keep them warm. Mountain goats have thick hooves which allow them to move about in these regions. Aquatic habitats include oceans and seas which have salt in them, and rivers, lakes, and ponds which have fresh water in them. Saltwater habitat. Here mainly animals like fishes, crabs, prawns, starfish are found, and their body surface is slippery. Fishes have scales on their body, so they are not affected by the salt present in the seawater. Their streamlined body helps them to move in water. Fishes have gills for breathing and fins for movement. Crabs have claws to catch the prey. Aquatic animals are adapted to take up dissolved oxygen from the water. But dolphin and whale, they are the mammals. They breathe through the lungs. They doesn't have the gills for breathing. So they have two blowholes on the top of their head. These adaptations enable them to conserve oxygen while underwater, and these animals hold their breath while underwater and then opens their blowhole to exhale, releasing water in the form of fountain of water. Freshwater habitat. In this habitat, many animals like fishes, snakes, frogs, crocodiles, and turtles are found. Fishes are found both in saltwater and freshwater habitats. Frogs can stay both inside the water and on land. They have webbed feet for swimming in water. They also have strong back legs that help them leap and catch their prey in water or on land. Water birds like swans, flamingos, and geese live in or around the water. Their bodies are well suited for swimming and standing in water to catch their prey. Plants found in aquatic habitat are called hydrophytes. They are of various types. Some remain totally underwater, that is submerged plants, and some float. They are known as floating plants. Submerged plants are often known as pondweed, and they are rooted plants. They are found below the water surface. Submerged plants have soft stem. Examples of submerged plants are Hornwort, Ludwigia, Vallisneria, and Anacris. Floating plants are of two types: free floating plants and rooted floating plants. The free floating plants float on the surface of the water and their roots hang just below the water surface. They have tough leaves which do not get damaged by the water current. Water hyacinth and water lettuce are two common free floating plants. Now, rooted floating plants. They are also known as fixed plant because the roots hold the plant in a place in the water, and the roots are reduced in size. Lotus and water lily has a circular leaf with a waxy coating on the upper surface. This helps them to repel water thus keeping the stomata open and clear for the process of photosynthesis. What is an ecosystem? The surroundings in which an organism lives constitute both living as well as non-living, and it forms their environment. So our environment has two components. One is biotic and other one is abiotic. Living things like plants, animals, microorganisms, they constitute the biotic component, whereas non-living things like air, temperature, water, sunlight, they form the abiotic components. So an ecosystem, it is an unit, it is a part that consists of plants and animals and microorganisms, that is the biotic factors in an area that function together with the non-living physical abiotic factors of the environment. Let us study how abiotic factors depend on living organism and how living organisms depend upon abiotic factors for survival. Soil. Plants grow in the soil and it absorbs water and minerals from it. Animals too indirectly depend on the soil for their survival as they take their food from plants. Soil is formed from rocks, and the topsoil, which is the most fertile layer of soil, contains humus, which is formed from dead plants and animals. Air. Air forms a blanket around the surface of the earth. Without it, life could not exist on the earth. Air is composed of nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and oxygen present in the air is used by plants and animals for breathing. Oxygen dissolved in water is taken by the aquatic animal. It is also present in soil, which helps the roots of plants to breathe. Green plants take up carbon dioxide from the air to carry out photosynthesis. Water. Water forms about 3/4 of our planet Earth. Plants need water to make their own food, and we cannot live without water. Sunlight. It is the most important for green plants to carry out photosynthesis process. Even we also need light to see. Temperature. The temperature on the Earth's surface varies from place to place. At some places it is warm and at other places it is cool. Plants and animals are adapted to this varied temperature. Biotic factors and their interdependence. Various organisms, plants and animals live in a habitat and they are interdependent on one another. Let us see some example of this interdependence. Scavengers like vultures feed on the dead bodies of animals, therefore they help to keep the environment clean. Bees help in pollinating flowers and in turn feed on the nectar. Plants depend on animals for carbon dioxide, which is required for the process of photosynthesis. And during respiration, both plants and animals, they take in oxygen and give out carbon dioxide, whereas animals depend on green plants for the oxygen which the plant release during the photosynthesis process. Animals and plants depend on each other for food. This interdependence of animals and plants for food is called food chain. Green plants are called producers because they prepare their own food and they are eaten by herbivores like deer, goats, cows, giraffe, grasshopper, which are also called primary consumer. These herbivores are again eaten by carnivores like lion, tiger, frog, so they are known as secondary consumer. Frogs are being eaten by snake, so snake is a tertiary consumer. Snake is being eaten by hawk, so they are known as final consumer. Other secondary consumers are omnivores who eat plants as well as flesh, and scavengers who feed on dead plants and animals. Decomposers like bacteria and fungi break down the remains of plants and animals and return nutrients to the soil. So, the process of eating and being eaten formed by a chain of organisms is known as food chain. So, today we have learned about the different types of habitat like terrestrial habitat, aquatic habitat, plants and animals found on this habitat. Then we have studied about the ecosystem, biotic components and abiotic components and food chain.